Hey Cam, how's it going this morning?
I'm well, Mitch. How are you, sir?
Good. We're live online. Are you
Yeehaw. Hello, citizens of the internet.
hmm. Are you ready to rock this morning?
And roll.
And roll? Sweet.
hmm
Double whammy. Is that a double whammy?
I don't know.
Okay, so those of you who didn't shut off our video before because of the stupidity that we just were doing anyway. Um we are going to be talking about the Apple App Store Awards finalists today, so stick around for that. It should be a good time. But first, I wanted to ask you a question.
All right.
Or maybe not so much a question, but we played Fortnite the other night,
Yes.
and I figured out. I guess what I feel like my role is when it comes to playing Fortnite with you guys.
What?
I'm the distraction.
You're the meat shield?
Yeah, I'm the one that gets distracts the character that we're trying to, or the player that we're trying to go after, so that you guys can kill him. So,
Yes.
but
For my first year of playing that game, I was always the meat shield.
yeah, so
It's like just like magnetically attracting all of the shots.
yeah, and I'm apparently very good at it. I play a lot of a team rumble,
Uh-huh.
just because I need the practice,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of practice, but there's also a lot of dying and a lot of chaos. So
Yeah. I can't do Team Rumble anymore. It's too what's the right word? Unpredictable.
hmm
Because like you land and then you just get headshot sniped from like nowhere,
yeah,
and it's like, "Ugh." Or like you're on a roll and you're knocking people off. You got great loot, and then someone lands right on you because there's redeploy, and they
hmm
just pump
yeah,
you, and it's just it's too frustrating of a game mode for me.
yeah.
But I'm glad that you like it.
Well, it's just trying to get accustomed to the aiming, and I had to turn down the sensitivity on the aiming some. I'm still getting used to the PlayStation controller for playing because I'm not used to playing with it.
hmm
I was using a third party controller on the Switch for playing, and it just feels different, and the
Yeah, yeah,
controls are just a little bit more. Oh, they have more fine adjustments, and instead of just slamming the stick to one side or the other, I don't have to do that to move around. So it's just getting used to the finer controls and stuff like that are
yeah, for
offered on
sure.
the controller. So practice, getting better, I think. But I had a couple of kills the other day in Team Rumble, so I'm kind of proud of that. I don't know if I should be, but I am. So
Hey, man, as long as you're having fun
yeah,
and you feel
I
like you're getting better,
I
then
should go into a solo battle royal and play to get better. It's just, to me, um, the anxiety that mode causes, because once you're dead, you're dead. So, but but I usually do pretty good when I've played solo before. Uh,
uh-huh.
only because I'm really good at uh, how do you put it? How do you put this nicely? Hiding. So, um, but with the low sensitivity that I have the controller set to now, I've learned that in Team Rumble that I have to keep the action in front of me. Because if anybody sneaks up behind me, I can't turn around fast enough to take them out.
hmm
Um, I think that's one of the advantages of playing on the PC is that you can have that higher speed or that higher sensitivity set and
Yeah.
move more quickly because you have the precision of the mouse. But with on a console, you don't have that, so you're really depending on being able to move your aim with the analog stick to try and get that right. So,
Yeah, I wish I could play on keyboard and mouse, but like
mhm,
I was a console kid my whole life. Never
yeah,
had like my PC gaming was like Prince of Persia on MS DOS when I was like 7.
hmm
The big 3.5-inch floppy disk that you have to take out and switch halfway through the game.
yeah,
Uh, and then after that, it was Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, PlayStation 2, uh, and all my buddies we were console kids. None of us had gaming PCs, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so my muscle memory is just so locked into the controller. But keyboard and mouse is such an advantage in that game, especially because
Right.
of all of the different controls you need to edit, to build, to rotate, to switch your inventory, like all of those things. And I've tried it multiple times where I was like, okay, I'm playing for 1 month on keyboard and mouse through my PlayStation, and it's just awful. I see so many keyboard and mouse players, and their movement's incredible. Their speed, their ability to turn, and to your point, precision with the mouse. And I was like, I move slower with keyboard and mouse than I do with a controller because I don't quite understand, you know, you get your WASD keys in your mouse and all that sort of. It's just like my brain just can't handle that number of inputs
Yeah.
unless I'm typing.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been touch typing. I started learning that in third grade, which
Yeah.
would have been 1993, 1994. So it's been a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have like 30 years of muscle memory there. Um, yeah, so I'm with you on I can always tell when I get bodied by someone that's running keyboard and mouse. It's
Mm-hmm.
just blatantly obvious
Yeah.
that and it's so just playing that game with a controller, you just have to know, to your point, how do I limit the disadvantages that the controller has
Yeah.
in this game? And it really is, to your point, about placement and understanding where the other people are, and not one of my weaknesses is I think I'm hiding,
Mm-hmm.
but my head is like this far above the
Yep.
wall, and then just I
Yep.
just get shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I was hiding, and then go back and watch the replay. I was like, oh no, I was peeking. I thought I was hiding.
Well, that's the thing about Team Rumble is that everything moves so fast that
Yeah.
if you are camping in the game, you have an advantage actually if you can find a good spot to camp because the everything is moving so fast around you that the other players aren't looking for you. Where I think in the other modes, the regular battle royal modes, there is a lot more strategy and a lot more hunting for lack of a better term, or I can't think of how stalking other players. That
Mhm.
it's just a different strategy, different way to play. Because like the first game that I was playing with you guys, if you notice, I was moving around a lot, and because
Mhm.
that's what I'm really used to doing in Team Rumble. Because you can't stop moving. Because if you stop moving, you're dead. So if you've got anybody trying to put the crosshairs on you, if you stop moving, they'll cap you. And that's how you protect yourself from the snipers. Good snipers will still snipe you, but like I've found a lot of times I move in zigzags. So
Mhm.
if anything, if they're trying to aim, like they can't. I'm not a jumper. I hate the people that just jump everywhere. Because I'm not a jumper, but I'll zigzag across the map to try and avoid getting shot. So it's a little less effective than the jumping because moving up and down is a little bit harder to aim at, but especially if you've got machine gun of some sort or something like that. But
Yeah, one of the things that me and the guys that I usually play with have started is like when we're playing squads,
hmm
is we always have like one spot where we land. We know it inside and out. We all
hmm
have our individual landing spots at that POI where we know where the chests spawn and all that. We get looted up really quick, and then we kind of just split up early game,
hmm
and we all just go hunt people and be really, really aggressive early on. And then as towards the mid game, we start to come back together because we realize, okay, we've taken out all the not good players and not good teams, and now it's time to play team ball, as it were. And that really, one, has helped us individually get a lot better because we're pushing people aggressively in the early game,
hmm
and so it helps. It has really helped me with my shotgun aim, my SMG aim, and quick builds to protect myself. But then we transition into the team game and the strategy and the placement, and getting the forecast tower if we can, and really trying to play strategically towards the end, so that when we do get to the end game, we're one of the few intact squads. We
yeah,
have all four players, hopefully. Um, And that's been really fun over the last couple months to play that way because I've seen myself get better because of it. And I'm less afraid to push people now than I used to be. I used to just camp and hide and play the waiting game, but then I would just get absolutely bodied by somebody because I didn't have the confidence or the skills to win in a close quarters fight. And I've seen those skills improve because we've been aggressive, and I've been forcing myself to take people on early in the game. Because especially in squads, if you die early, your teammates can just come get your card and reboot you. You know what I mean? So there's less, to your point, there's less anxiety. Like in a solo match, yeah, you're done. It's over. But in squads, if you happen to be the one of the solos in my team that rolls up on a full squad of real people that are good and you just get wiped, we'll just come get your card and reboot you and it's fine. So that's been a really fun way for us to play, because we get to individually get better, but then also as a squad work on strategies for the ends. And it's just, it's been a lot more fun, and our communication's really good. And it's one of those games that I find I enjoy playing way more with other people because of the communication and the teamwork and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, good times.
Yeah, it is fun. I was going to say something and I forgot. But no, playing with you guys was fun. I think we stuck together more. Partly for me, because it was easier for me to stick with you guys and not get killed as much. But except for the one time when I did stray away from you guys and got capped.
Yeah,
by some
you
good
went
guys.
and pushed. You went and pushed the grotto and got Eminem minigunned.
But yeah, but it was fun. We had a good time doing it though. So
yeah.
So yeah, I'm still trying to learn where all the good weapons are. I haven't seen an automatic sniper rifle yet.
No, they just got the bolt action one, I think.
Yeah, because that one was always a lot more fun because you could shoot off 3 to 5 rounds before you had to reload.
It does less damage. That's the trade-off, right? You get more bullet. You don't. It's not just one and reload, but I will tell you what, there is not much more satisfying in that game than hitting like a 262 headshot to someone like across the map. It's just like, it's the worst when it happens to you, but when you do it to someone else, it's just like, yeah, you just got worked, buddy. Congratulations. Enjoy the lobby.
So I had a guy snipe me in Team Rumble the other day, and it was I knew right where he was because I saw the shot. And so when I respawned, I dropped into the tree that was next to him. And it was probably, I don't know, it was still a decent shot, but I dropped down onto a tree that was near him and lined up the shot. He wasn't even paying any attention to me. He was lining up another shot, and I got a headshot on him. So it was very satisfying to get my revenge kill.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right.
Cool. All right, well, let's get into the topic for today. All right, we're going to talk about Apple and the App Store Awards that have been announced. They've announced the finalists. They have not announced the winners yet, but we have the. I'm trying to think of where the button is I need here. Running my own show here today, so not that I don't do that every time, but forgot which button to hit. So. And I need to have the mouse in the right place here. Good gravy. All right, here we go. So 45 apps were announced for the App Store Awards. And they're in a few different categories. And I know you've used some of these that I haven't used, and vice versa. So the iPhone App of the Year finalists, I have not used Runna, the middle one there. It says for offering tailored training plans to runners of all experience levels. But you said you've used Kino.
Yeah. And so for those watching, this is the article on macstories.net, just highlighting all of the different apps. Because Mac Stories is one of my favorite websites, and so that's why we're using it. So yeah, Kino is a video app for your iPhone, and it's made by the same folks that make Halide, the photography app, which is always consistently highly reviewed, really well done, great features. I use it quite a bit because they have a zero processing uh, option, which removes all of the iPhone's native camera apps like HDR, whatever settings. It's just straight from the sensor. So you can get some pretty grainy, more film-like stuff, which is fun in certain settings. But Kino, let me pull it up on my phone here. Um, the thing that separates Kino from other video apps is that it has built-in color grading of various different sorts, depending on what format you're shooting, uh, ProRes, or you can even shoot log in here as well. There's HEVC. There's different options that you can shoot with format wise. 4K, 1080, frame rates, all that sort of stuff that you see in normal cameras, but or camera apps, I should say. But they have custom grades done by video professionals that you can either use just as a preview, so you can just shoot in regular or shoot in log, and the grade is there only on while you're shooting, and it's not in the final product. Or you can turn instant grade on, which is going to apply the grade that you're looking at on your phone to the actual footage. Um, which saves you a lot of time, in post production. If you don't want to worry about color grading in post, and you like what you see based on the color grade you've chosen in the app at the time that you're using it, you can just turn instant grade on, and boom, your video. All you have to do at that point is just cut and edit the timeline, as opposed to then worrying about also color grading the footage further. So there's quite a bit of options as far as the color grades go. Some of them are very opinionated, others less so. Some are trying to recreate classic film looks. And you have also export options. You can either save to straight to the Photos app, or you can save to the Files app. And the difference there is that saving to the Files app is pretty much instantaneous, whereas saving to the Photos app takes a lot more time. I don't know why that is. But so I usually just have mine saved to files so I can instantly see them. It's great. There was one of my favorite moments that I've used this app was this past summer. I was at the park with my daughter, and I was testing out some of the new color grade options. And the park was right next to this beautiful river that we live by. And I was panning. It was just one of those serendipitous shots where everything looks totally planned, but it was just happenstance that it wound out that way. I was filming the river, and as I panned to the left, my daughter was on a zip line at the park, and right as I got to her, she had no idea what I was doing. She got on the zip line and then went down the zip line, and so my pan went from the river, and as soon as I got to her, she did the zip line, and I followed her all the way across the zip line to the end, and it looks totally like a setup movie shot where the camera action leads into the subject's action. And the lighting was great because it was a beautiful sunny summer day. And the colors look great because of the color grade. And it's like a 12-second little clip, but it's one of the favorite things I've shot with that app because one, it just so happened that she jumped at the perfect time. But two, the way that it looks, the color grade, like it felt like a cinematic moment, even though it was just my kid at the park. So yeah, highly recommend it. There's you can find multiple grades in the style that you're looking for. You'll probably find a couple that you hate because they're, not your flavor, and that's fine. But it's really flexible, has access to all the cameras that you would expect it to on your phones. And the company that makes it, like I said, it's the same company that makes Halide. So if you've seen the quality that the Halide app has, Kino either has it or is getting there, because it's not an old app, it's new. I think they just added a major release like maybe 2 months ago, major update to it, which added more color grades and a few other options and that sort of stuff. So if you're at all into making videos on your phone and want a little more stylistic control and manual options, this is a great one to at least check out and see if you like it.
Mm-hmm. And
It gets my recommendation for sure.
yeah, and I've just kind of dabbled with Tripsy a little bit, but I have not. I couldn't give you the review of Tripsy that you just gave of Kino. So, um, now I think based on app icon, I would have to pick Tripsy for out of this batch, but it's a great icon. All right, moving on to iPhone Game of the Year. I don't have any opinions about any of these. I just noticed the Zenless Zone Zero this morning on the PlayStation 5 and haven't played it at all. But so I think we'll scan on past this.
Yeah, I mean, I would buy just initial reaction the wear cleaner for delivering common. Like I wouldn't even touch it just based on the name. Like oh thanks, I'm good.
The wear cleaner. It seems to me like it might be like a werewolf that's cleaning, which I find sounds whimsical and interesting. Anyway, iPad app of the year. There's 3 of them listed here. Bluey Let's Play for delivering lovable characters and family-friendly fun. And then Moises, which I've used, and I think is a pretty crazy, cool app. And Procreate Dreams, which I have not used. Have you used that one at all?
I have not. I'm interested to hear about Moises.
I'm curious about Procreate Dreams. It looks like you can animate stories. I want to say that that's the one where you can draw and animate your drawings and such.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, but Moises is an app for like you can put music into it. We've talked about it before, but you can put music into it and it'll split out it'll use AI to split out all the different tracks. So
it'll turn it into a stem. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so then you can go in and remix it. You can like drop out the vocal track if you just want the background music. You can just drop out all the music and listen to the vocal. If you're trying to learn one of the parts, you can turn down all the other parts so you can listen to the one part you're trying to learn. It's a really cool app for musicians who want to play around with music that you can't find stems for online. And it uses AI to split everything out. And the little bit of experience I've had with it, it works really well. I really do like this app. I just don't have a lot of utility for it, if that makes sense. It's just not something that I use a ton.
I'm gonna have to talk to our worship director at church about this.
Yeah, it's available through the app, and I think you can use. There's a web app for it as well. I'd have to look into that a little bit more, but I think there's a web app that you can upload the music into and do things. I'm not sure if you can do that in the app or not. But when I was using it, I think I uploaded a few songs into the web app, and then it was available through the iPhone app and iPad app to be able to mess around with the music. So something to check out.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. All right. iPad Game of the Year finalists. I've only downloaded one of these, and then it popped up a screen said I had to pay to play it. So I deleted it, and that was Assassin's Creed Mirage. But I don't have any real opinions on any of these apps, really. I don't know if you've played any of these.
No, my iPad gaming is like Risk, Backgammon, Mancala, those sorts of old man games.
Yeah. Fair enough. Apple Arcade Game of the Year. I have played Balatro. I think it's a fun little take on poker. But it's more than that. It uses jokers for different abilities, and it just plays different. You just have to if you know poker hands and stuff like that. That's about the extent of poker that you need to know. But it's actually, I think it's a cool game. It's a fun game. It's a little bit retro in its design, but if you can get past that, it seems like a decent game. The other two I haven't played, and I don't know if you've played either one of those.
No, I don't have Apple Arcade anymore, so
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I unfortunately.
All right, Mac app of the year. I think we both
Dun,
have something
dun.
funny we want to talk about here, but
Yes.
do you use Lightroom?
So yeah, I have Lightroom and Lightroom Classic,
Okay.
and so the one that's here is Lightroom CC Creative Cloud or whatever. It's the newer version, right? Obviously, Classic, you can safely assume, is the older version.
Yeah.
And this version of Lightroom has gotten better and better. I'm just so used to the way that Lightroom Classic operates that I am going to use it until they finally shut it down and force me over to this version of Lightroom. But yeah, as someone who does photography semi-professionally, I shouldn't say semi-professionally, occasionally.
Mhm.
I'm very good at it. I only get paid to do it every once in a while because I'm lazy and don't want to.
Brennan.media, correct?
BrennanMedia.co.
BrennanMedia.co. There you go.
But yeah, Lightroom's great. There's obviously competitors out there, but Adobe has long been the go-to for this. They were one of the first in the game, have been, Photoshop, Lightroom, all that stuff. I love it. It's great. It works easy. The cool thing about this version of Lightroom is that it syncs across your iPad and iPhone. So you can even edit your iPhone photos in Lightroom on your iPhone. You necessarily need to go, to your Mac or your PC. It's powerful. It's gaining, like it says here, AI powered features. It's getting better and better at like object removal and sensing subject and background and all that sort of stuff. And so it's providing you with far more options than we even had 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even, with ways to enhance your photos, make them better, more easily, less painstaking editing than was needed a couple years ago. So yeah, highly right. If you're into photo and video stuff, or photo stuff specifically, you can get like the photo package with Adobe for like $10, $11 a month, and that's Photoshop, Lightroom, and Lightroom Classic. I think it's $10.99 a month right now. At least that's what I'm paying. Maybe I'm grandfathered in because I have an older plan. But I mean, those three apps together are worth way more. I mean, Adobe, don't charge me more, but it's a no brainer if you're into photography and you want to get into editing and post production composition and that sort of stuff.
All right. Awesome. OmniFocus 4 for fostering focus with simplified task management. What? Okay, so the one thing that OmniFocus is not known for is being simple.
Yes, simplicity is nothing that the Omni Group does is remotely simple.
All right, I want to click into this just to see what it looks like now. I haven't used it in a while. Oh, it's kicking me over to hold on, let me drag this over. Where am I? All right. Drag this over so we can look at it. What is that noise? Oh, the neighbors decide to blow leaves while I'm recording a podcast. That's awesome.
Oh, I can't hear it for what it's worth.
All right. So, let's see. How much simpler is it? Well, you know what? It looks a lot like it used to.
Mm-hmm.
Still has nearby in it.
Powerful system you can trust. Generally speaking, powerful systems and simple
not easy
are not friends.
Not synonymous. The trouble is I'm looking at this now and I'm like, wow, this brings back memories. I should get back to using OmniFocus.
Mitch. It's so expensive.
I know. I don't know how much it is now, though.
Well, we're in the App Store. You can go find out. Go down to in-app purchases after we're done previewing how not simple this is. We haven't even talked about the left sidebar, let alone this idea of priority, right? So you got all of your, what are they calling their not focuses? Their, what's their word for it?
I don't remember. Here, let me make my window a little smaller so we can see
because like they've
better.
got, you know, inboxes, projects, perspectives, right? That's the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we're not the whole issue here, just to be clear, is not that OmniFocus is bad.
No, not at all.
It's great. But the point is, it's a super powerful, highly customizable, very, very, very in-depth way to do your tasks. And so for them to say with simplified task management is just hilarious.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's, again, we're looking at Mac Stories, and I love MacStories.net. Federico and John and the whole rest of the team, I've been huge fans of for years now. I subscribe to their club, get their weekly newsletters and all that sort of stuff. And so I don't know if this is their description or if they're literally just taking this from Apple.com. I don't know. But the point is, this is a very funny and silly description of OmniFocus.
I honestly don't see where
scroll down a little bit.
In-app purchases are listed.
All the way down to the bottom. So up a little bit, right above those three. Yeah, in-app purchases. Yes.
All right, $9.99 a month. There's an upgrade price here. It looks like there's the only subscription that they offer is $9.99 a month. But everything's to like buy the program and upgrade pricing, and there's a yearly OmniFocus subscription for $99.99. So,
and $149.99 to unlock Pro, $74.99 to unlock Standard. Like I don't even. What's the difference between unlocking and then? Do I have to unlock it and then subscribe?
I think these are just for coming from different angles, coming from different things. Just to let's look at something real quick. Let me see if Todoist is on the App Store here. I got to switch keyboards. Yeah, it's right here. Check out. There's $4.99 a month or $47.99. So it's double the price of Todoist. Which is the one that I use.
I'm gonna look up things. Or actually, do you want to do it? Look up things.
Yeah. Things does not offer a subscription, it looks like.
Correct. You have to pay up front.
And I've purchased it, so I don't have a price up there.
Yeah, they do not do subscription. Thank God.
Yeah, so.
I thought you'd still be able to see the price.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't
I was
show
incorrect. My apologies, sir.
Well, maybe we can do this.
Culture code.
Things should be
website.
On. All right, Black Friday deal. 30% off.
That's probably worth it.
Let's see. I don't see a buy button. Okay. It's got Mac, iPad. iPad is $13.99 right now, regularly $19.99. It's a one-time purchase. $9.99 on the iPhone.
But you have to buy them separately across the different platforms.
Correct. And then on the Mac, it's $49.99. So if you break this down, I think, if I'm not mistaken, That would be $50, $60, $80. Let's just discount the Vision Pro for now. That's $80 to have it across Mac, iPhone, Apple Watch, and iPad. Where I believe the subscription pricing for OmniFocus would be
It's $99.99 a year, right?
it would be $99.99 a year.
So it's 10
and
bucks, $20 cheaper.
And it would be all of them. Yeah, so yeah, it's still
and
cheaper.
It's a one-time deal. So like I bought Things 3 a couple years ago. So I don't know when Things 4 is coming out. But I've already gotten my money's worth from Things 3 over and again compared to OmniFocus specifically. Todoist is what you said, like $47.99. So let's just round up and call it 50 for easy math. 50 versus 80. I've had Things 3 for more than 2 years, so I'm even good there. But again, it's all about personal preference, right? And which app you like. And you and I have gone back and forth on OmniFocus and Things and Todoist and Reminders and Good Task, and like we tried them all.
Yeah.
And you landed on Todoist, and I've landed on Things, right?
Yeah,
and that's great.
And the things that the thing, no pun intended, that I didn't like about Things was it is too simple for my purposes. And so Todoist is a nice middle ground for I like the templates in Todoist. I use the templates a lot. When you look at OmniFocus, OmniFocus has if you want to do it all, that's the app to do it all in. You know, so but anyway, I just think it's hilarious that it says simplified task management in there. Simplified from something, I'm sure, but not simple. So maybe if you're writing everything down on index cards and keeping them in a little
the old school GTD.
Yeah, the old school GTD. It probably simplifies it in that respect, but my wife still uses OmniFocus. You know, we bought it one time and she's just used that one that she bought years ago. Just the stuff that is available to her, and she still uses it every day. So, but I've moved on probably 3 or 4 different apps since that time. So,
yeah.
But I think OmniFocus has some functionality without paying, but there's a lot of features that aren't available to you unless you pay for it.
Yeah.
Shaper 3D, I have nothing to say about that. I really don't know anything about that app. So all right, Mac Game of the Year. Yeah, another one where I don't game on the Mac, so I don't know if you have any opinions about this. Frostpunk 2, Stray, Thank Goodness You're Here. I have no idea what those are.
Yeah, no, the only game I play on my Mac is Hearthstone.
The Apple Watch apps. I don't know if you use any of these. Lookup for improving vocabularies with daily definitions. Sounds like something that'd be up your alley. You like to learn.
I do.
Yeah. Lumi for connecting users with the rhythms of the sun and moon. I do use Lumi on my watch occasionally. Most of the time, if I'm looking it up on my iPhone to see, you know, when sunset is or something like that, I look it up in Carrot Weather, because I have it on my main page in Carrot Weather down at the bottom. But Lumi allows you to put it right on your watch face, so you can track through the day where the sun's at. So
nice.
And then Watch to 5K is pretty much what it sounds like. It's giving runners a boost all the way to the finish line, it says. So
look up for improving vocabularies with daily definitions.
Yeah.
Tell me you're a nerd without telling me you're a nerd.
I use
I've got
lookup.
lookup on my watch.
Yep. For two guys who don't have Vision Pro, I think we have some things to say about the Vision Pro apps of the year. Jig Space is one that I've heard Alex Lindsay talk a lot about. It's for 3D 3D models and augmented reality. So if I'm not mistaken, they use that in it's able to be used in like meetings. When you have meetings through the Vision Pro, they're able to bring up 3D models and rotate them around and look at them. So it's kind of a neat app for people who are into, building 3D models and sharing 3D models with people. So, you had opinions about the NBA app.
I have opinions about the commercial for the NBA app. I think what they're doing, and the reason they're one of the finalists, is because they are the first, to my knowledge, the first major sports league in America that has fully embraced this idea of you can watch a game from courtside seat on your couch at home, where you can feel like you're in the action, and you should do it on your couch at home, not in the stinking laundromat while people are trying to do their laundry. This commercial is crazy. So if you've not seen it, the setting is this dude walks into a public laundromat where people are there to do laundry. I go to a laundromat. I know exactly what this experience is. You want to get there, do your laundry, not talk to anybody, get out and go home, right? That's all you want to do. This dude puts his laundry in, then doesn't even sit in the chair, sits on top of the chair, puts his Vision Pro or Meta Quest or whatever he's got on. It's for the NBA app. It might even be, I think it might actually be for the Meta Quest, now that I'm thinking about it. But it is the NBA app. And he puts his, whatever on, and he starts watching an NBA game and is reacting to the game like he's actually at the game, which I guess is the point of the app. But he's in a public spot, and everyone's looking at him like, "What is going on?" Why? Like, if someone did that at the place where I was doing my laundry, I would not react great. I don't think it would be so annoying. So yeah, I think what the app provides is really cool, and I would love for, like the Big Ten or the NFL or English Premier League or other leagues like that to follow suit, so that there's a strong chance I'm never going to get to go watch an Arsenal game at the Emirates Stadium in North London. Could happen, but if I do, it's going to be a lot of money and at some point in the future. Whereas now, if I could pay $20 to watch a game virtually and feel like I'm there from my couch, I'd do that. That'd be sick. So really cool concept, and I like the fact that they're being rewarded by being a finalist for what they're doing, and hopefully that encourages other leagues to figure out ways to take advantage of this technology. But yeah, the commercial, man, don't do that in real life. Don't, please, I beg you. Watch it at home.
I'm sorry, I was trying to find that video and I couldn't find it. So
it's all good.
We probably get taken down on YouTube anyway.
I can't remember. I think it might be a MetaQuest, but it's essentially it's the same.
Yeah,
it's the same deal.
No, there were some MetaQuest ads and stuff on there too. So
okay.
Yeah. All right, and I've heard really good things about the What If, an immersive story. This came out a while back, and I know that like Jason Snell and Mike Hurley got to try it, and both loved it. Said it was a really good experience, but wouldn't share much about it because they didn't want to ruin it. So, so there's that. But it sounded like it was a lot of fun and a really cool experience. So I'm just gonna skip over Vision Pro games because I don't know. Apple TV App of the Year finalists. So there's 3 apps here. I know you've got opinions about one of them, and I don't have opinions about any of them. But
I have opinions about 2 of them.
2 of them? Okay. Well, you talked a little bit in the pre-show about Dropout. So
yeah, I am shocked to see them here, not because the app is bad or anything like that, but because Dropout used to be called College Humor. and they went through a whole. There's a really interesting. If you just Google college humor to drop out, Sam Reich, it's Reich. He does a really interesting interview where he talks about how college humor kind of went under, and then he as an employee bought the whole deal and turned it into dropout, and now they're killing it. They've got game shows like Game Changer, Make Some Noise, and a slew of other shows that are some of them are like interview shows, like just all sorts of improv and really interesting concepts. But friends, let me tell you, it is rated R for reasons that are very apparent. So you've been warned. This is definitely not for kids. This is for adults who don't mind humor that is dark, sexual, full of cuss words, all that sort of stuff, which is one of the reasons I'm kind of surprised to see it here, because it is such a adult, I mean, not adult in like pornographic, but adult in just rated R, material.
Mhm.
But it's also cool to see them here because they're such a small indie sort of ragtag group of comedians that have come together and sort of built their own corner of the internet, and social media and YouTube stuff, and they're really good about making really shareable YouTube shorts and Instagram and TikTok reels that are clips from the shows, and the shows themselves kind of lend themselves to that sort of shareability. Um, and so I think for that reason, seeing them here, like next to Zoom and Formula One, is
Mhm.
wild, right? Zoom is like this giant video corporate whatever, and Formula One is like the highest form of racing on the planet, and it's global in its coverage. And then you've got Dropout. So I love the fact that this little indie group is being represented next to these two giants. I think that's really neat. Regardless of what you may think of their programming, I think it's pretty cool to see that Apple's recognizing a group like that next to Formula One, which is, got more money than most countries.
Yeah.
And so that's my second opinion is about the F1 app, and they've done a really really good job of providing immersive access during the races, to the drivers before and after the races. Really cool interviews and that sort of like Formula One is really really good at engaging the places that they're at for the Grand Prix weekend with all of the stuff they provide for fans that are in attendance, and all of the cool meet and greets and concerts and all sorts of fun stuff, being able to get on the track, if you have a lot of money. But then for them to be able to provide stuff like that in the Formula One app, where you can choose which driver you want to follow along during the race and hear the radio and all that sort of stuff. They're really leading the way in that regard more than any other sporting organization across the planet. Like you don't like how cool would it be uh for like a college football or NFL game to be like, okay, like for Mitch, I want the Packers feed, and I get to hear what the coaches are saying, while the game is going on, what plays are being called. I get to hear the communication between, the linebacker's helmet and the defensive coordinator. I get to hear, I get why the NFL doesn't want to do that, because that stuff's all like secret and proprietary, and we don't want other teams to know what our calls are and stuff. But like in Formula One, team radio is public. Every team can hear what the other teams are saying. And so they have to figure out ways to sort of talk in code on their radio to communicate so that other teams don't necessarily know what they're saying while the race is going on. Like, oh, we're 2 laps shy of plan A, or we're 3 laps long, we have to go to plan B, or little comments that are code for, well, I need you to let your teammate by because yada, yada, yada. And it's subscription based. I didn't pay for it this season. I paid for it last season, but they keep adding to the experience. So I think maybe next season I might subscribe again, just because it's fun. And I like Formula One. I think it's super cool. So yeah, you can see there all of the additional content you get besides just the live races and the driver cams and the team radio.
Yeah. So it looks cool. I have never gotten into Formula One, and I think if I got into any kind of racing, I think this would be the way I would do it. So it
Yeah, it's fun. This
seems cool.
season, the drivers' championship is already decided this year, which is a bummer. But the Constructors Championship is still up for grabs.
Yeah.
Which means there's still going to be good racing left.
All right. And Zoom is Zoom. So.
Yep. Done and dusted. Let's move on.
Yep. Cultural impact finalists. This is the last category they have on here. But there's some stuff in here. I don't know how much of this that you've used, that you have opinions on. I know that you and I both use NYT games.
Absolutely. It's a daily habit. Yep.
Yeah. I've got to go in and do my Wordle every day. Got to try and beat my wife at Wordle.
You mean get it in fewer.
Yes, get it in fewer words.
Context, people.
Yes.
Context. He wants to be victorious.
I want to be victorious. I want to do better than my wife. Somehow she can get Wordle in less words than me on a fairly regular basis. And I think it comes down a lot to our strategy, because I tend to use she tends to use the letters that she gets in her first word and just build on that. Mm-hmm. Where I tend to like use exploratory words to try and get the most letters I can get, and then try and form words with them.
Do you have a go-to first word?
I do. So do you know that they have like an AI bot in the app?
Wordle bot?
Yeah, the Wordle bot. Mm-hmm. And when I was going in and checking it regularly, there was a word that was almost consistently the same first word. Do you know what that word was?
Well, I use crane because according to WordleBot, it's the starting word of a Wordle genius.
Correct, and that's the one that I use.
Yeah.
Yep. I used to use ado to try and get as many vowels in there.
Vowels? Yeah. No. You need some consonants in the right spot to help you. And that crane is really good at that.
Well, what I've learned over the time that I've played this game is that the vowels really don't matter as much as getting the consonants. And
Absolutely
when I
correct.
first started playing, I thought just the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I think the vowels almost held me back from getting the words.
Because it's easier to fill in vowels around consonants than vice versa. Because where the consonants are will really inform you as to like, okay, short vowel, long vowel, very common vowel consonant pairs. And it's easier to do that if you know where the consonants go.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, if I have like, consonant blank and a consonant, I already know, okay, only one or two vowels can go there based on that structure in common, 5-letter words. And so I start with, not usually, every time I start with crane. And then depending on how well or bad that goes, my second word is usually pilot. Because it gets me the I, the O, and then LP and T in very common places too. And then usually from there, I'm a 3 or 4 guess guy, depending on how well. Sometimes crane and pilot, I'm 0 for 10.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
And that's usually like on Saturday or Sunday, like, or there's maybe like 1 or 2, but they're in the wrong spot. And then you really have to like sit down and go, okay, what do I have left?
But that
really does eliminate a lot of possibilities, those 2 words.
Have you played yours for today?
Not yet.
No? Okay. I won't ruin it for you then. As far as statistics, do you know your longest streak?
Let me pull it up real quick. And I'm annoyed that it ended because it was just one of those days where I just forgot.
Yeah.
Like I was down visiting friends in my old city. Church, after church, we did lunch and all hung out and played games. And then I drove down to I had to drive back and I just forgot. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to play today's in order to see my streak, aren't I? Or can I go to archive?
We can wait.
Say, let me knock this out real quick. I think it's like 106 or something like that, but I'll have to double check.
No, if it is,
what's yours?
You're gonna shame me. 51. I played 329 games though, so I don't know if I've been playing as long as you have, or as many as you have.
No, I've got a lot more than that. Oh gosh.
Maybe the win percentage is what we should focus on.
I can get to my statistics now. Okay, so I've played 759. My win percentage is 99%.
Yeah, whatever.
And my max streak is 106.
Yeah, my win percentage is 94.
That's still really good.
It's not bad, but it's not as good as yours. So
But yeah, that 106 max streak is only because I forgot
never mind.
to play it one day, and I was so mad when like the next day it was like, oh, play Wordle. I was like, what about my streak? And then I checked, and I was like, no, I ended my streak because I'm dumb
Yeah.
and forgot to play it.
Anyway, I don't know that I recognize any of the rest of these. I mean, Pinterest is in there, which
I was about to say,
whatever.
Pinterest, Mitch?
I've recognized that, but I don't care. Are there any in here that seemed intriguing that we might like to try? That's the next question.
Ooh, do you really want to know too? For addressing misconceptions about HIV through an endearing interactive story.
I'll pass. Arco for letting players shape their own story. The Bear for turning bedtime into a calming, interactive experience. I don't think I need bedtime to be interactive.
Carry on.
Anyway,
Carry on.
Better Sleep for helping users sleep and feel better. I think I might have used that one at one point. Let me see. No, I don't think I used that one. I'm looking at the icon and I don't recognize that icon. Brawl Stars for delivering quick bites of action-packed gameplay. Yeah, I haven't used that, but sounds intriguing. I like the icon. Like a little skull inside of a circle.
Okay, so just real quick, if I can interrupt. It says finalists in the cultural impact category brought users powerful stories and helped them bring out their best selves to create a lasting impact. How does delivering quick bites of action-packed gameplay bring out the best selves and create lasting impact? Like like some of these I get, others I don't understand why they're in this category.
Yeah. Daily art. You already mentioned. Do you really want to know too? Is that EF? Hello? I think that's right.
I guess.
For empowering language learners with AI enhanced tools.
See, that would make sense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So does daily art. So does better sleep.
I mean, heck, the NYT games make sense. Oko, making street crossing safer and more accessible to all.
I'm clicking on that one.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one. I figured we'd click on a couple of these here. Look at them. So Oko, arrive without stress. Navigate confidently with AI. Accessible pedestrian signal. Walk signal. Oh, okay. It's basically it like reads the signs and stuff for you. So at least that's the way it looks. Oko is an AI-driven navigation app that helps you navigate and explore your environment with confidence. Simply search your destination to receive detailed turn-by-turn directions when approaching an intersection. Oko will inform you about intersection information. If you need visual assistance, just raise your phone and Oko will notify you when the walk sign is on. Start discovering places and remember to go with Oko. Yeah, so it's
so this seems like something that folks that maybe need some accessibility help,
Yeah, it's designed around accessibility.
Sight, that sort of yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's something I never would have thought of because this seems like something that someone made to scratch their own itch or a loved one's, right?
Yeah.
Because as someone who is able-sighted, this never would have crossed my mind, but this is really cool. Nice. I'm glad we clicked on that one.
Partiful, or is it Partyful? For simplifying social gatherings to foster connection and community. I'm curious about this
Fun
one
party
too.
invites.
Yeah. Create events in seconds, customize your event page, invite guests on any platform, text blast your guests, find a time that works for everyone. I could see where this could be useful. And for someone who is a little bit more introverted, my wife and I both, I could definitely see where, hey, we want to get together. Here's a party invite and an app to download. As long as it's free, and yeah, it just looks like it's free.
Yeah, invite guests on any platform too. That's an
Yeah.
add from your contacts or share the link via text or social media. So that's cool. They don't have to be
Yeah, that seems like a useful app.
as part of the app. They can just receive the output,
Yep, I could
which is
get
really all you need, right?
I could get with that for sure. All right. And we said Pinterest, the rec for telling an intimate and impactful story via cinematic gameplay. I struggle with games like this being part of the I mean, maybe I can understand where the rec fits into this category. Brawl Stars. We're gonna have to look at Brawl Stars. 3 versus 3 teams, amazing battle modes, unlock cool skins. So it's basically like a kid's version of Fortnite.
Yeah, it's just like a
So,
trios battle royal. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that one
So,
fits in this category,
yep,
but what
not
else?
at all. Maybe Apple is trying to find a way to thumb their nose at Epic.
And then just down here at the bottom, there's a bit of a summary. It says, as always, it's great to see Mac Story's favorites like Kino, Tripsy, Procreate Dreams, Balatro, OmniFocus, Lookup, Arco, and others among the finalists. Apple say the winners will be revealed in the coming week. So it seems to me that the ones that we called out that we liked were also the ones that Mac Stories likes as well, which means, Mitch, that we have impeccable taste. That's what that means.
Yep, good taste all around.
Because if Federico, John, and team recommend an app, it's usually because it's really, really well done.
Yeah. So cool. All right.
MacStories.net, folks.
Yep.
Check it out.
It's good stuff. All right. Well, we can move into what's delighting us today. Do you have anything ready to go?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Let me fix my...
All right. Well, you do that. I'm going to fire the sounder. Cam.
Getting little like circles of bright light, and it looks funny.
Yeah. What's delighting you today?
It's Thanksgiving week, man.
It is.
I'm excited. My kid has the whole week off from school. So we had like the most lazy staycation day yesterday. We were in pajamas the whole time. We played. Her birthday was Saturday as well, which was a great day. I took her to one of the zoos here in Chicago, and we did the penguin encounter, which means we got to like sit in a special room, and they brought out 3 penguins that we got to pet and play with, and that was really cool. But then yeah, so she's off school this week, so I got her, in addition to the penguin thing, I got her the new Super Mario Party Jamboree game on Switch that just came out recently. And so we played a decent amount. Well, we played one game yesterday, but it's got all new boards. It's got like 20 characters now instead of the 8, 112 brand new mini games. So like, she loves Mario Party, but we have played the crap out of it for the last 15 months. And so when the new one came out, she wanted it immediately. And I was like, no, this is $60. Like, this is a birthday or Christmas present. You're just going to have to wait. So I surprised her with that yesterday. Or no, on Sunday. And so we played that yesterday, which was really fun. And it's cool to see a new twist on it and, and updated graphics and all that sort of stuff. But then, yeah, like we're hanging out today. It's like the high is 40 today, but we still might go to the park because you know what? We're from the north. And unless it's single digits, we're outside. And even then, we still have to snow blow. So you just got to do what you got to do. But then for Thanksgiving, we're going down to the town we used to live in. We're hanging out with friends all day and eating lots of good food and playing games. And yeah, so I get extra time with her this week, which is great. And we're going to spend time with people that we love. And it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. And just the chance to relax and hang out. And, we're going to do a lot of eating and a lot of laughing, and it's going to be great.
Cool.
So that's what's delighting me. What about you, sir?
I recently, I deleted Instagram off my phone again, in shame. I found something else that I really liked on Instagram and purchased it. And, but you know how my wife and I have had a soda stream for years. And we do like our bubbly water. It's one of the things that we used to get away from drinking soda years ago. because it satisfied that niche. The problem is that you can't take the SodaStream everywhere. So I ran across an ad on Instagram for a new item called the Aerflo, and this, where's my camera here? This is a bottle that has the carbonator built into it. So it's really nice. In the top here, in this little black section here, there's actually a small air cartridge, and you just fill the water up to the line on the bottle, and you spritz it a couple of times, give it a shake, spritz it, give it a shake, spritz it a little bit more, give it a shake, and it's all nice and bubbly and it tastes good and it's enjoyable. And one of the things that one of the reasons that I wanted it is that when I take water to work, because I'll take some carbonated water to work with me, but we have water at work. Obviously, everybody's got water at work, I'm sure, but we have bottled water in a fridge that we have for us and for the customers that we have come in. But when I'd run out of my bubbly water, I had to switch to non-bubbly water, which was kind of awful and so I just didn't drink very much of it. And so this bottle actually has got me drinking more water again because I'm able to carbonize the water that I have at work. So
can you flavor it, or is it just natural? Is it just plain bubbly water?
I haven't really looked into if they have any opinions on flavoring, because sometimes that can gum up the machines, which is why in SodaStream they don't want you to flavor the water before you spritz it. After you spritz it, you can flavor it any way you want. I would assume that you should be able to flavor this just fine. I don't think there'd be any issue with it, but I might flavor it outside the bottle, like maybe pour it into another bottle and flavor it there just so it doesn't, gum up the inner workings of it. But
makes sense.
Yeah, but I usually don't anyway, because it's just the carbonation is what we like. So it is interesting how different bottled water tastes different after carbonating it. So, or even tap water just tastes different. So, but yeah, that's
cool.
It has improved my life just a little bit. So
good. That's the
only problem with it is that the replacement cartridges or capsules, as they call them, are a little pricey. You can get refills. They give you a box with 9 of them in to start, and there's like 6 other ones in the package. So you get basically 15 cartridges to start, and then you send in the box. It's all pre-addressed, and you just seal the box up and you send it through USPS. And then they charge you and send you a new one when they receive that box of empty cartridges. And it's like $23 or $25 for a dozen of them. So, and you really get like 4 bottles per capsule. So when you start doing the math, it starts not looking like a terribly great deal. But what I've been doing is when I have the option of being able to use our SodaStream at home, I'll put the water in this bottle. Because it seals, where like I've always had trouble with carbonated water in water bottles because they don't seal well and they'll bubble out. This one seals really well. So that's just a free bottle of carbonated water for me. And then I might spritz a bottle or 2 at work when I'm there. So I'll look and see like in the long term how the expense works with that. But so it may not be like something I use a ton, but I'm definitely rationing those cartridges. So yeah.
Very cool. I added a show title to the Notion document for you there.
Okay. I don't think it's updated for me yet. Where did you add it? Oh, you added it up on top. Okay, gotcha.
Just a suggestion.
Yep. We'll put it. I'll definitely put it on the show. I like that one. That'll work. So, all right. Well, you have anything else for us today?
No. We did. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
We didn't mention one thing, and it's
So
kind of something I noticed right after the show last time. Silo's back.
indeed.
Yeah. I was like, how did this, like, I found out the day that it released. I was like, how did
I
this
knew that it
happen?
was coming, but I didn't think it was coming until like early 2025. So yeah, I was
Yeah.
just as surprised as you were.
And I really don't have any opinions about it yet because they're just kind
La la
of,
la la la. Haven't watched it. La la la.
yeah.
Don't say anything.
Okay. Anyway. Well, you read the book, didn't you?
I did not.
No? I
I
thought you did.
No, I did some research following the end of season 1 and
Mm-hmm.
realized it was based off of this set of books.
Yeah.
And then got some summaries of those. But I don't know, obviously, how closely aligned the TV show is going to be to the books.
Yeah. I think
So
it's not a spoiler, really, to say that it's starting slow. It's building. So, but that's why I'm not quite at I'm not quite ready to have an opinion about it yet because it's just not. There's stuff happening, but it's building. So
they're still cooking. They haven't served the dinner yet.
right. So
How many episodes are out?
2, I think, right now.
Okay,
Should be
yeah.
the third one should come out this Friday. So yeah, they're only releasing one a week. So they didn't. Sometimes you see them drop, 2 or 3 on the first day. They only released one. So
Yeah, there's a new show on Peacock called The Day of the Jackal that's got Eddie Redmayne in it as like an assassin. And they dropped like the first 3 or 4 episodes right away, and now they're on to a weekly, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
I wish they would have just done like 1 or 2, and then
yeah, I almost
so
prefer
I would be more
it.
used to the waiting,
I almost
What?
prefer it because a lot of times when you start a new season, you're reestablishing some things, so it takes a few episodes to get there. And so doing it this way, it's like, it's like waiting for the story to really move.
Yeah. Well,
So
Day of the Jackal it's the first season, and I think it's just going to be a limited. I think it's just going to be a 1-season run.
yeah,
So for them to drop like 3 or 4 on release day was like, oh yeah, all this hype, and now it's like,
yeah,
I have to wait. Which I get. We waited whole weeks, our whole lives for TV shows until streaming, but
but the TV shows were a little different then. They were more like weekly
Monster of the Week.
Monster of the Week shows, so
Yeah.
you didn't really have this overarching storyline where they were building a story to tell through a season, which is much more common now. So a couple other things that I really care about. I'm not sure that you would, but a couple other shows that came back recently that I'm super excited about is Curse of Oak Island is back for a new season. And The Mystery of Blind Frog Ranch is back, which I really enjoy. So
sorry, The Mystery of Blind Frog Ranch.
yeah, so Skinwalker Ranch.
Nope.
Okay, no. Okay, so in Utah, there's this
I know
area,
Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah, there's this area of like kind of weirdness. And Skinwalker Ranch is probably the most well known part of this, but a lot of paranormal, a lot of weird stuff going on. Blind Frog Ranch is not far from there, and they believe that the Aztecs there's story that the Aztecs started farther north in what is now the United States and moved down to Mexico and gained all this wealth and all this gold and all this stuff. And then when Cortez came to take it, they hid it all and moved it somewhere else. And a lot of the research that's happening is that they went back to where they started, where their homeland was. And they believe that's in that Utah area. And so the Blind Frog Ranch is where they suspect that all of this could have happened. So not only are they looking for Aztec gold, but they're also looking to answer a lot of weird, like questions about a lot of weird stuff that's going on the ranch. So it's just up my alley because I like these shows where there's a mystery and like you go episodes and episodes without really getting a whole lot out of it, and then you
Mm-hmm.
find then because there's always this hope that we're gonna get this one thing this week, and like Oak Island or the Curse of Oak Island does a really nice job of laying out some stuff and learning the history of this island and finding things that help draw conclusions. What the Mystery of Blind Frog Ranch doesn't do is that, but they do it a different way. They're a little bit more cinematic in the way that they film it, and they're discovering stuff, but it takes longer for them to kind of come to conclusions and figure things out. And you just get this weird stuff that happens on the ranch too that is interesting. So but I enjoy that kind of show. I do watch the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch as well, but that usually isn't on until later in the year or earlier in the year. Yeah, I think they air that because they film them over the summer, and then
Mm-hmm.
they produce them and air them like the following year. So these two shows were actually filmed last summer. I think Mystery of Blind Frog Ranch may have been this last summer. Yeah, so they should be showing episodes that were actually this last summer. So both of those shows, but Skinwalker Ranch takes a little longer. They don't release it at the same time as these other shows release. So
Gotcha.
yeah, basically they do their investigation until the weather turns and they can't do it anymore. So
What channel are or where?
history. Curse of Oak Island is on a History Channel, and Mystery of Blind Frog Ranch is on Discovery.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Think I'm right about that. Yeah. So cool. All right. The other thing I kind of like about streaming on YouTube is that I just looked up at the time and I'm like, you know what? I don't have to edit this, so who cares how long it goes? So, because we're at an hour and 16 minutes right now. So,
I
but
think it's
cool.
time to land the plane
I
then.
think I think it doesn't hurt. So, all right. Well, I've made some changes. Obviously, we're doing the live stream on YouTube now, and we probably should put audio out for this. I might just post a blog post with a link to the video. But if you're listening to this and you normally subscribe to the podcast, um, I don't know that we're going to be doing the audio version of this much longer because it's just it's more work than I've got time for, and the live streaming I think is a lot more fun to be able to show you guys what we're doing live and show you stuff that we don't have the ability to do on the podcast. So this is a direction I think we're going. If you have issues with it, let us know. But I think that if you guys want to continue watching, just check out. We'll redirect the innerdialogue.show to the YouTube page at some point. I have redirected my MitchCraig.online to my YouTube page. So if you want to check out some of the stuff I've got up there, I've been streaming some of my gaming sessions and haven't really done much else on there, but there's a little bit of content on there. So check that out. Cam Brennan, where can people find you?
CamBrennan.com.
All right, excellent. So check him out there. Just doing some downsizing to save a little bit of money. That's really what it comes down to. So don't get mad. So
Plus, video is more fun.
yeah, video's a lot of fun. I enjoy producing the video. So I've been doing it for the church for a while, and now I'm experimenting with stuff with our podcast. So it's been a good time.
Very good.
All right, Cam, been fun. Thanks for
Yes,
joining
sir.
me.
Absolutely. See you next time.
All right, later, y'all.